Tinian Island, it would carry out the most violent act ever known.
Yo, what's up, fam? Let's just get it, because, you know, there's way too many deep debates going on, and I have to admit, I'm in over my head. You know, I didn't really go deep into debate like that to where I can, I guess, really keep up with all these, you know, because one of the great debates right now, which is crazy, is like, who's the biggest murderer, you know, on this earth, blacks or, you know, whites, you know, and we supposed to, according to these statistics, is being thrown out there, which needs to be questioned. But anyway, we 13% of the population, and yet we 60% of the murders are committed by us, you know.
60%.
And,
here we go. So maybe,
you know, like I said, I'm not really skilled in debating like that. And, you know, I know that aside from the crack cocaine being pushed in our neighborhood.
Rick Ross, not the rapper, but the real Rick Ross, was a drug dealer in South Central LA, and he couldn't even read, and he was making millions and millions. He's just a smart, smooth dude who knew how to move cocaine. He didn't know he was moving it for the CIA.
And also the guns intentionally being placed in our neighborhoods, you know, which makes of a bad situation, and everybody knows that a contract cannot be fulfilled if you are impaired.
Crack.
So
I'm promoting it.
You know, but we're not talking about that right now. You know, we're talking about these issues that's way over my head. Who's a bigger murderer? And I make a distinction between murder and killing, to be honest, because you could be a better killer, you know, because you are better at, you know, warfare in self-defense, of course, you know, and even unfortunately that's debatable as to who's defending who. You know, are you really defending yourself when you're doing what you're doing? But, you know, are you a murderer? Are you, you know, a killer? But, you know, this is crazy foolishness. Who's a bigger, I would say, murderer? You know, the blacks or, you know, the whites. And, you know, I know that we definitely do some very ignorant things, and, you know, our people, you know, a great portion of them are completely dumbed down and out of control in our youth. You know, a great portion of them are just went berserk, but, you know, we don't attribute those things that happen to, you know, the parents and then the grandparents and the great grandparents having any bearing or effect, or the things, you know, Rick Ross.
Where did the CIA come in at?
Well, they was in from the beginning, right? But we don't know that.
You know, CIA.
We don't find out that until
crack neighborhood.
Until my drug supplier.
Terrible situation. Crack babies. Growing up dysfunctional. Still getting blamed, but I'm not in this debate. I am too ignorant, dumbed down. I didn't finish college. I started it. I didn't finish. I'm gonna drop out like Kanye. But hey, you know, let's talk about this.